Hi guys, welcome back to a new video on the channel. I'm back with some new custom tactics. This time I'll be talking you through the 4-5-1 flat, the formation a lot of pros are starting to use right now, like Abu Makka, like Emre. So we decided to make a video on it to show you the pros, the cons, everything in attack and in defense. First, of course, we're going to talk you through the tactics. So let's start off with the tactics. We decided to go for the goalkeeper role on Martinez. He has goalkeeper plus, so he's good in that, and we don't want our keeper to be too far. Then for the center backs, pretty basic, like in every formation, just defender and defend. Nothing too special about that as well. Oh yeah, and obviously the build-up style is unbalanced, and defensive approach is unbalanced as well with 50 depth. A lot of people use high, we like to have more control, so we go with 50. We do the side trips whenever we want. Then for our wingbacks, we got something different, or fullbacks, whatever you want to call them. So with Bowie, we go the right back on fullback, and Theo Hernandez will be on wingback. Both unbalanced, but just Theo being allowed a bit more freedom going forward, and Bowie staying a bit more back to have that security. Let's go to our three center mids. So what we want is basically to play with a pivot and then two in front, number 8, number 10, whatever you want to call them. So we play with Paredes on deep line playmaker, so the middle center mid, deep line playmaker and defend. That way he will be a bit further back, and then both our left and right center mid will be on box to box and balanced. They will go up and down, help out both in attack and in defense. For our wingers, we go with inside forward because obviously we don't have a cam, or normally you play with kind of 4 attacking minded players. Now we play with 3, so we can't leave them on the wing, our wingers, so they gotta be on inside forward to help out our striker, who is on his own. So the wingers will be inside forward and balanced, and our striker will be an advanced forward and attack. Yeah, of course we want the wingers there, so it will be kind of like a 4-3-2-1 of last year. We want to play it, but obviously we won't get the same runs and the same positioning, but the idea is kind of similar. Let's see what the attacking strengths of this formation are. So in this clip, you see Theo bombarding up the pitch. We find Sané, but he is obviously a distraction for our opponent. And now you see, if you pause it here, that we got 3 attackers, kind of like a 4-3-1 of last year, in the box and inside forward. And this is what we want to create, because then we can play with the opponent's center backs a bit. Normally, when this happens, he can't do a lot with his fullbacks anymore. And when our right and left mid come inside into the box, they'll kind of position themselves between the fullback and the center back of our opponent, which makes it very difficult to defend, almost like a 3v2 in the middle there. And then it's about patience, making the right pass, and finishing it. Again, with Paredes, we go to the left side, as you can see, because that's got the wing back. That's where we create the space, and that's where the space lies, because here we find Theo again, get it to the byline, and then looking for that cutback, in which we find Sané eventually. So let's take a look how we build up this attack. So the most important part starts where we get the ball at Cruyff and we find Theo on the left side. And now he has to choose, is he going to mark a pass or not? We cut it back, and now he plays on a high defensive depth, so we recognize that before this attack already. We know that when we play with Gundo, when we play the pass back to Gundo, his defense will jump. So if we are quick, we can avoid the offside trap and then play it into Sané. Another attack, Neto on the wing, and then it's just looking for that pass inside. We got a lot of midfields with tiki-taka, with good passing, and there again is Theo on that overlapping run. So what I like is that the midfielders have good passing. In this case, I think that all 3 got tiki-taka because they used the Evo Paredes, so you can play those passes first time. Yeah, it's about basically baiting him to commit to the middle, and then Theo is there to punish that. So let's take a look again. So Paredes gets the ball, immediately to Gundo, immediately to Reinders. Then he commits with his right back, which leaves space there, and we find it. So that's why the wing back role is important. And then the last clip, a build up from the back. As I mentioned before, good passing on the midfielders is nice because it helps us be fluent in the build up. And now you can see that our left mid is making a run. We find him, Sané, cross to Cruyff, and it's a goal. Very simple, often simple passes, but it's about timing and having the right profiles everywhere with the right roles. Let's now take a look at the attacking weaknesses of the formation. So the weakness is there when we basically find our left back too early. So now Theo is not on a run or he's not free, and that's where we get stuck on the wing. So here, as you can see, we don't have many options, and it's hard for us to do something going forward, and then we just try something, but it's hard. When you pause it, when we get it to Theo, you see that it's maybe Sané we can play to, but there is not a lot. Again, here with Reinders, you can see also in the midfield, we're getting pressed because he's got also 3 guys in the midfield, I believe. But here we get the ball with Sané, and again, there's not a lot of options because first in the build-up, we maybe took too long, and then our midfields are not quite helping as we want. Striker's always on his own, so it's difficult to really do something. And then the last clip, again, coming from that left side with Sané, but now we're trying to get it to the right side. But again, there's not a lot, so the fullback making a run, he plays on a high defensive depth, which makes everything quite compact. And when we are too slow, too passive, and we don't send players on a run, it becomes very static, and it's easy for our opponent to defend because the AI runs in this formation are not the best. So now let's take a look at some good defensive clips. So here he goes with Vini past us. Okay, we can't get him, but now it's what happens next. He can play the pass inside, but immediately our deep line playmaker is there to help us and win that ball back. So you can see that the midfielder here closed the gap. It's also good in this formation you can be quite aggressive. As you can see in this clip, first let's take a look at it. We win it back with Gundo, nothing too special, right? But if we pause it, when he plays that ball to his left mid, immediately something we can do because our midfielders already cover his number 10 is be aggressive towards the pass to the striker. So we just stand in front of the striker, I think it's Neymar, with Ruben Diaz, and yeah, basically kill that passing lane. He then gets lucky, he tries to do over the top, he gets lucky, he wins the header, and then he passes it back. But what happens there again is, if we are aggressive with Gundo, kind of in the same passing lane as Neymar, he has no passing options because other than going back. But yeah, going back, we can never cover everything going back. So it's about what you do or what kind of passings you cover going forward, most dangerous ones. And you can see that his left back is covered. If he plays it to De Bruyne, I think it is in the middle. There's 2 guys of us also waiting on him. So we can be aggressive in the middle with this formation because we've got an overload there. And here again, we can be aggressive with Reinders with the second man press. And then yeah, everything in the middle is closed. He still finds Neymar, which is fair enough to him. But again, he is on his own there because all the other passing lanes are closed. We select our left back and then cover the space. So if we run it back again, he passes the ball to Matuidi. And when you just pass it with Matuidi, you can only pass sidewards. We realize that, so we second man press with Reinders. Actually get unlucky, we don't get the ball. But then the same, and after we do the same again. So we try to close all the passings with Gundo there. Of course, Neymar makes a good AR run. He can give it to him, but then he has no options anymore. Let's now show 3 weaknesses of this formation defensively. So this formation obviously has no DM. So let's take a look first. We concede a goal. Okay, bad defending for me, I know. But what happens in this formation is in transition, you're pretty much exposed to the fact that you don't have a DM. When he gets it with a center back, we can pause it and look at the minimap. So you see that he plays with a cam, and I think it's a 4-2-1-3 actually. His cam will always be a bit behind our midfield. So when that passing lane on the transition is open, he immediately skips our entire team and gets into dangerous positions already with a cam having the ball, or number 10, whatever you want to call it, and 3 forwards in front of him. So this also happens. Our play switching here is not good, but we concede a goal because of the fact that our midfielders are not DMs. And here you can see it again that we don't have DMs. So Vini is down that line, and that passing lane to the striker is completely open. We get lucky, honestly, that we catch him. I don't know how, but again, it was kind of a transition. We lost the ball. He plays it to Vini, does a speed boost, but our midfielders are not tracking back like we have a CDM. So of course, having the right formation or the wrong formation is actually a common mistake a lot of you guys have. We made a video about 5 common mistakes on FC25, so you might want to check that one out. So as you can see here, he gets the ball with Vini. Reins gets a bit unlucky that doesn't win the ball back, but what happens then is not necessarily that we concede a goal or something, but I'll show you. So he gets the ball with Adama. You can see our three midfielders are kind of standing still. They don't track back, or they just give the space to the attackers of our opponent, which, if our opponent plays it a bit better, he's kind of with a 3v2 in the middle, similar to what we had at the start of the video, and that gives us a disadvantage because we have to be aggressive with the center backs, and there it's almost like 50-50. If he actually maybe went back and then dribbled out of my aggressiveness, we would have big problems. So guys, this was a video about the 4-5-1 flat. If you got any questions, leave them down below in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next time. Bye.